All right. It's 7 o'clock, so I will call the March 1st, 2022 regular meeting of the King William County Planning Commission to come to order. Would you call the roll, Ms. Trimmer or Ms. Grover, either one?
Mr. Sluter?
Here.
Ms. Height? Here. Mr. Wagner?
Here.
Mr. Greenwood?
Here.
And Mr. Breeden?
Here. Thank you very much. The next item up is the review and adoption of the meeting agenda. I know there's one change, but I need to have someone make a motion to amend the agenda. And I'll go into a little bit of detail for those of you out in the audience after that. So do we have any amendments to the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to amend the agenda to remove item 6.
The public hearing Z03-21 for Mr. Kellum. Are
Yes,
there any other changes to the agenda? Anybody else?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, got a motion properly seconded. Any discussion? All in favor of amending the agenda, say aye. Aye. And if I can for just a moment, so apparently the applicant requested that we move the public hearing until June, and it may be later than that. However, you all have made the effort to come out tonight and want to do a couple things. We have a public comment period that normally we do not discuss public hearing matters at the public comment period. However, since we don't have a public hearing tonight, you all are free to speak on that matter and any other planning matter that y'all would like. And we'll be getting to the public comment period in just a few moments. So when I open the public comment period, you can speak on any planning matter up to 3 minutes. I'll talk about that again in just a second, including what was scheduled for the public hearing. Also, there is a sign in at the front here so that you can be notified in writing or by letter when the public hearing is next rescheduled. So you actually get 2 bites at the apple tonight, as well as at the public hearing whenever it's held. So I think that's about it with that. And so the next item up for consideration is the draft minutes for the February 1st and February 16th Planning Commission meetings. Has everyone had a chance to review the drafts? And are there any corrections to the minutes? None? Okay, then at this time I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Got a motion to approve the minutes. Do I have a second? Second, all in favor, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all very much. Okay, the next item up is the public comment period. Individuals have the opportunity to speak for 3 minutes. And if you're representing a group, you have 5 minutes. You can speak on any public hearing matter. And again, we were supposed to have a public hearing tonight. You all can speak actually twice at the public hearing for the Planning Commission, and then also if it goes to the Board of Supervisors, it's actually a 3rd time you can speak, but you're able to, you come out tonight and I appreciate that. And so any planning matter you'd like to speak on, including the zoning application, you're able to do. So at this time, I will open up the public comment period. If you come up front. If you give your name and either your address or the district you reside in.
My name's Harry Irwin. I live at 95 Beatles Road, and I came here to speak on the matter. I'm a little bit concerned about traffic in the area. Upshaw Road, I don't think will work for traffic on it. And Beatles was a cut through, it's not too hot. And if you go up to the corner of Upshaw and Globe Road, you got a hell of a turn up there that, excuse me, you've got a turn up there that's really tough making. That's one concern. My other concern is groundwater. A lot of us have shallow wells. You put that many people out there, we're going to go dry most likely. I'd like to know if the fellow that's requested the permit would be willing to put in wells for everybody who dries up. That's all I got.
Thank you. And for those of you that are new to the process, we don't have a dialogue, but we are able to hear your concerns, but it's actually really good that we're able to hear you tonight because we've got some time to look at the issues you all raise in between now and we actually have a public hearing. It's actually better to have this opportunity now than at the public hearing itself, because sometimes you're last minute, something is raised and, you know, have we adequately addressed it? So thank you very much for your comments. Anyone else like to speak?
Brandon Williams. I live at 1217 Upshaw Road. I didn't come out to live out here. I was a rural county. I wanted to keep it rural. Having 200 houses right across the street from me, as we said, traffic is going to be bad. Garbage on the road, the water table, our infrastructure. That's a lot of people to suddenly dump down all at one spot. The noise, crime, can any of this be handled already with what we have? We're already having trouble with our fire department. How are our schools? Are they going to be able to handle several hundred more students all of a sudden? I don't feel like we should have that many houses all crammed together. If they wanted something more city-wise, they can certainly go to closer to Mechanicsville or West Point. I'd really rather not have that many houses directly across the street from my house. So thanks.
Thank you.
Jay Saunders, 340 Vessels Lane. So again, just reiterating, it would be a lot of traffic to have without looking at Upshaw Road. It's a curvy road where I drive twice a day, most every day, and I constantly get pushed to the edge of it. And then any surface water contaminants, also that having an additional neighborhood there, an extra 200 houses would contribute to.
Anyone else wishing to speak tonight? Do we have anybody online, Ms. Grover? Okay, all right, very good. All right, anyone else like to speak? And again, when the public hearing gets re-advertised and we hold it, again, assuming the applicant wants to go forward, you'll have another chance to speak then as well. Ms. Graham, would you be sure and include all of the comments we received tonight, as well as anything you receive between now and the public hearing in the packet for the public hearing? We'd appreciate if you do that, okay? And if there's anybody, did you want to take the sheet to pass it around for anybody who wants to sign up and who did not speak?
Also, if they want to submit something in writing prior to the public hearing,
Right,
we will make sure that.
right. So again, anything in writing that the planning office receives, we will receive as well, and I guess the supervisors would too, so. Okay, very good. Excuse me. So since we don't have a public hearing tonight, the next item is unfinished business comprehensive plan update. Ms. Graham, your team are up again.
Just a couple of quick things. Wednesday, we do have a joint meeting with EDA at 7 o'clock. I did talk with Ms. Sloan. They are planning to attend, but it'll be through Zoom.
This is the EDA meeting or the
The EDA.
Okay.
She'll be here on Thursday
On
for the
Thursday.
public meeting.
anything else? Do any of y'all have any questions for Ms. Graham concerning the comp plan?
That meeting with the EDA is on the 9th, and the public comment or public meeting.
Meeting is Thursday, the 10th. Both of them are at 7 o'clock.
Anybody else?
Mr. Graham, do you have any other dates on the book past that for comprehensive plan meetings?
We don't at this time. The plan is after the public meeting and after the joint meeting, she's going to incorporate any additional comments and do a final draft for our final review. Hopefully If the planning commission is happy with it, then we will forward it on to the board of supervisors and hold public hearings for both.
Other questions? Well, I have one or two. So there won't be any more drafts received between now and the meeting on the 10th.
No.
She'll be taking the input she's already received, plus the input she receives between now and the 10th and on the 10th. And she'll use that to complete the final draft.
Yes.
Do you have a timetable for when she expects to have that finished?
I imagine probably 2 weeks.
Okay, so 2 to 3 weeks after the 10th. Okay. And then at that point, do you anticipate us having a meeting, the planning commission to discuss it, a work session or an actual meeting?
We would need to have a meeting to review that and the future land use act.
And then once we had that meeting, at that point, we'd schedule a public hearing?
We'll schedule a public hearing,
Okay,
and then it will go to the board of supervisors after that.
after our public hearing.
Mhm.
Are you all okay with that timetable and that project plan? It's kind of what we've talked about already, but we're getting near the end and I wanted to
Yeah,
make sure.
probably looking toward the end of April. I'm hoping that we will have it straight by the end of April.
Okay. I have it be at what point by the end of April?
Public hearings.
Okay,
Yeah. I mean, we're already into March, so time is moving by really quick, but I'm hoping that we can at least maybe get a final product approved by the end of April
to go to public hearing,
for a public hearing. Yeah.
which,
And if I may, this is advertised shown on the county website as a public hearing. This is not a public.
It's a public meeting.
So
for Thursday.
Should we correct that?
We should, yep. It's a public meeting, not a public hearing.
and if you can go into a little detail of how that is, how they're planning to do that. So she'll be doing a brief presentation as she has in the past.
She's gonna, well, it will change some, but Hill Studio will do a brief presentation, kind of going through the process and what the comprehensive plan entails. A lot of people really don't know what it does and what it's used for, so she's gonna go into detail about that. She will have the maps out on easels for people to take a look at as well and be here to answer questions.
So will people actually come up and speak or will they just speak from their seats?
They can come up. I'm not sure how she wants to do
Okay.
it. It's going to be sort of informal, but it would probably be easier if they came up
Mhm.
and we could get their information, just like we do here. And
Okay.
we'll take a record of everybody that speaks and has questions. And hopefully we can answer all of their questions.
Other questions?
As far as, for reference for, those in the audience, the current draft of this comp plan is on the county website, available for anybody to view before the meeting on Thursday.
It is. It's also at our library, the library at West Point, and we have a copy in our office as well.
Thank you.
Thank you for reminding us about that.
Mr. Chair. Is the survey still on the website as well?
It should be still on the website. It was the last time I checked. We've had a pretty good response so far on it.
Right, the Hill Group has been receiving input from citizens throughout the last several months, and it's not too late to provide input. The comprehensive plan, for those of you who may or may not be aware of it, is kind of a guiding light for how we move the county forward from a planning standpoint, land use, zoning, that sort of thing. We have a meeting with the Economic Development Authority next week. I'm excited about that. They're looking at some land to have on the future land use map for industrial that can bring tax revenue to the county, which then decreases property taxes or allows more services to be provided. And so the comp plan is a guide for your county over the next 20 years. And it should be updated on a regular basis. It has not been, but we're going to be doing a better job of that, I'm sure. So that's, and then we'll have our meeting afterwards. What if we come up with changes after the final draft comes in? Do y'all make those yourself, or how does that work?
They will be working on it right on through the final approval from the board.
Okay,
So after that, then they're done, but they will give us the final product after it's been approved through the board of supervisors.
so if we have additional changes at the meeting based on the draft, either something we missed before or something that's been modified since the last draft, we would have the ability to say, oh, we want to see this additional change be made. So very good. All right. Yes.
For the public meeting, is that gonna be just in person or is that gonna be by Zoom as well?
Both.
Definitely. Thank you. All right, further questions, comments? This is, we've only had 2 comp plans in the past 19 years, I think, 17, 19 years. And this is the best one we've ever had, I think. It's not perfect, no plan is, but I'm excited about it. And I thank you all for your input. And I thank you, those of you who've provided, answered the questionnaires. Thank you. And if you haven't, there's still time to let us know how you want to see your county grow over the next few years. And we've talked about one particular place tonight. As a whole, what do you want to see your county do? So again, this is a guide that we'll be following quite closely. Okay, well, if there are no further comments, questions, we will go to new business. Do we have any new business? I'll start with you, Ms. Graham.
None right now, no.
Anybody up here? Okay. This is going to be a short meeting tonight. We've had quite a few long ones over the last couple of years, and we have a couple more long ones coming up. So it's nice that we have a lighter night. So we're up to the special reports and updates from the staff. Ms. Grover?
Good evening. So you have before you the admin's reports. Yesterday was our cutoff for February. So we were able to pull some of the reports. They did last evening and this evening do some maintenance on admins, but I was able to pull the normal reports that you see from admins. So you have before you the zoning permits that were issued for February, along with the land disturbance permits, the individual types of zoning permits that were pulled, along with the custom reports that were able to pull the more specific information, and then the violation log. So you'll notice in the violation log, we've started adding in additional information so that you have more specific information, even in the violation log. So you'll see in there when we're actually going out for a third follow-up, and this is after we've issued letters, where Andy's going out and he's following up after the letters. You'll see that in there, or if we've had contact with the owner, we're actually documenting that in there. So we're putting in more detailed information so that the planning commission is able to see that along with the board of supervisors. We're a little bit excited because we're getting more feedback from the owners once we're sending out the notices. You'll notice along the Route 30 corridor, there's one home that is actually being cleaned up as we speak, that we've had under action. And there's another one that I received a phone call from the owner today that we've been working on since January. So we are getting some compliance on some of the properties that we've been working on. So it's pretty exciting. Andy and I have been working on these properties together. It's pretty amazing, I have to say, to work with. He goes out to the properties, and I do some of the background research working with some of the banks. So we're able to get lately some compliance. So it's pretty exciting to report to you all. And now being able to report to the board of supervisors, we are getting some compliance.
Fantastic. Thank you. Questions for Ms. Grover?
Ms. Grover, I'm just looking through this pretty quickly, but is there any way that we can provide a sort of a summary report on number of buildings, number of permits issued, number of buildings, so forth?
As far as building permits, you're asking, Mr. Wagner?
Building permits, certificates of occupancy and so forth, so that so that we can see on a month-to-month basis and the board can see how much we're growing or not growing.
We can get those from the building side. I know today was a little difficult since the cutoff was
Right.
yesterday, but certainly we can get those from building as well. I don't pull those reports, but I can get them from them.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Other questions? Will it be possible to get these reports with the regular packet?
Depends on when the meetings are.
And what I would suggest to my fellow commissioners, when we get it the night of the meeting, I'm sure staff is more than happy to take your questions over the next few days as you come across things on the report. So the timing is not as critical. It'd be nice if we could, but when we can't, we have that option as well. So,
Absolutely.
okay. Anything else? Any questions for Ms. Grover? Well, I feel bad, all you folks have come out here, and we're gonna have one of our shortest meetings ever. And I can assure you, we've had quite a few meetings that went 3 and 4 hours, sometimes at 10, 11 o'clock at night over the last couple of years, updating the zoning ordinance and the comprehensive plan. And we'll be having a few more long meetings as we go forward, but this is gonna be a short one tonight. I understand there's a lottery on who I would leave off tonight for planning commissioner comments. So I'm gonna try extra hard to get all of y'all tonight, starting with Ms. Height. Any final comments?
Just thank you to the audience for everyone that came out tonight. It's encouraging to see more participation and feedback coming from everyone. So thank you so much for coming, and always thanks to staff for all the work that you do. And thanks to the planning commissioners too, because it is exciting that we've gotten as far as the company.
Thank you. Mr. Greenwood.
Yes, just said the same thing. It looks like a lot of people came, and we have a few people on Zoom as well. Sorry that they said that the notice didn't go out, that everybody saw it, that the public hearing is going to be canceled, but that happens sometimes. And about the reports, I'd like to thanks for these elements. It seems to be working out pretty well with everybody for getting the reports. I can understand, like she said, since the report is due at the end of the month, and yesterday was the end, so we couldn't get them a week in advance because unless we moved our meetings
Right.
later like we used to
Absolutely.
have them. But now since they're like almost the first or second day, it might be tight unless it was an incomplete report. We could have it up to the day or something. But anyway, and then
No, I was just emphasizing
Right,
that we
right,
can
right.
still ask questions after.
Yeah.
Yes.
and I wanted to, like you said, it's you and I have both pushed for the last 12 years, 10, 12 years that we've been trying to get the comp plan and everything done because we haven't had one. And as you mentioned, also, it is a living document, just like the other plan. It can be changed, but like I said, hopefully this time we'll get it all a nice updated copy that's more user friendly, and then we can move from there and be more diligent in keeping it up from then on. So thanks everybody for coming.
Mr. Sluter.
I'll second everything so far. It's been said. I will also say that Christina, the reports, this Edmonds report is markedly better now than it was those first couple of months that we transitioned to that system. And so you've done a great job with that. So thank you, Ms. Graham, your effort on keeping us straight with this comprehensive plan and scheduling is, I'm sure it's hectic for us, and I'm sure it's crazy for you. So, and I just want to reiterate too that this comprehensive plan is not a concoction made by 5 people on the planning commission. It's had input across multiple teams, citizens from the county, and even something as simple as the public hearing that was postponed tonight. You know, what we decide on that ultimately when we have that public hearing, we're going to take factors from the citizens, complaints or comments in favor of, but we also look at things like future land use map and where utilities are now versus where utilities will be in the future. Can we sustain these things? And all of that is addressed in the comprehensive plan. So it's really important to have feedback from all of you. So thank you for being here, and I'd encourage you to be here next week as well for the public meeting. It's really helpful to have the feedback.
Mr. Wagner.
Again, I would like to thank those of you who came out for the public hearing. I regret that it wasn't held tonight, but I look forward to you all being here when we do get that rescheduled, and please invite your neighbors to come as well. Your comments tonight were very appropriate. We will take those into consideration whenever that public hearing is rescheduled. Ms. Graham, Barbara, and Christina, thank you all for all your help. And again, Christina, all your work on putting this Edmonds report together does not go on deaf ears. I can assure you that. Thank you for all you've done on that. And Ms. Tremor, we certainly look forward to working with you over the next several years. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wagner. So we're having a short meeting tonight, but we'll be meeting next week on the 9th with the Economic Development Authority, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they want to see us put commercial and industrial. They got some neat ideas, and I'm glad to have the opportunity to work with them. And then on the 10th is the big meeting, which will be a lot longer than this meeting tonight, to get the update on the comprehensive plan. Hear the presentation from Ms. Sloan with the Hill Group, and I've worked with a lot of consultants over the last 30 or 40 years. I've worked with some good ones, and I've worked with some not so good. The Hill Group is one of the best I've ever worked with, and the end product that they came up with is I'm very, very pleased. The question is, are all of you all pleased? Are there things you'd like to see different in the comprehensive plan? And so you'll have the opportunity a week from tomorrow night, Thursday night, it's the 10th, whatever the 10th is, to hear from Ms. Sloan. I hope you'll come out. I hope you'll have your friends come out as well, and hear about the comprehensive plan and provide your input on what you like, what you don't like. And then there will be a public hearing on it a little bit later, as well as a public hearing, assuming Mr. Kellum wants to go forward with his plans. So we have some longer meetings coming up, but y'all are gonna have a light night tonight. Ms. Graham, thank you for all you do. Ms. Trimmer, welcome aboard. Ms. Grover, thank you for the fine reports. And with that, if there is no objection, I will adjourn the meeting. Any objection? Okay, in that case, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much.